Tell me, so why did you choose to work in coastal areas? What is the connection between plastic and oceans?
See, one of these, you can either say the end destinations of waste material, right? Either we call end up in environment, that's a broader term again. Where in the environment, either in the landfills, in the land, it will be there for many years and decades, right? And or in the water bodies. So a lot of materials ends up in water bodies.
Oceans specifically.
Yeah, technically people put in a small canals or river, but end of the day it's an So plastic has become some very serious threat to the whole biodiversity of the ocean. And that's again saying there is a whole angle to it. And the ocean, like it is shared across the world. I mean, it's a common stuff, right? So one of the reasons why we started working here, because Kerala has 600 kilometers of coast. So except in 2 districts in Kerala is a very coastal place. In one of these, whatever we call ocean-bound plastic. Okay? Technically, if I don't collect it, so people put in some water bodies, let's end up in ocean. So it would otherwise end up in ocean. Not necessarily everybody is dropping waste here. So one of the reasons is the geographical, reasons which is close to ocean, it's the final destination is one reason. Second reasons, we've seen a lot of interest in terms of our customers or brands and all, they now realize, rather than the landfill issues, ocean plastic is much more a serious issue. So we get a lot of supports because of we are an organization who works in and around coast. So whether our operations in Kerala Islands, in Kerala, Lakshadweep Islands, Andaman Islands, that's what we reach. And then, and also a lot of coastal communities also we work. We work with fishermen communities and all. So, as a strategically we realized that we wanted to work in and around, ocean and prevents it ending up in oceans.
One of the things that you see talked about when you talk ocean plastic is actually fishnets.
Yeah.
So the fisherman community, aren't they using...
You would see the fishnet over there.
Fishnets right there. So isn't that made of nylon as well?
Yeah. This is made out of 2 grades specifically. Nylon also, there is some HDP and there is other grades also.
Right.
So
can that be recycled?
The problem, this can be recycled, but it's a very, very difficult process. Cleaning it.
There's crystals at each joint.
There are many grades out of made it. The problem there is technically anything can be recycled.
Right.
But how easy, how difficult, and why would someone do it? For example, in India, maybe 90% of PET gets recycled. People says it. I still has a doubt in 10-20%. Okay, but at the same time, this is only 10-20% gets recycled. Because it has got high value, it has got no value.
This has no value?
It's very least value material. Least value. So, if I, a rack picker, a waste collector, if they see this 2 material here, I would pick it up a water bottle and leave this material. Why would I pick up 2 material? For them, whatever fetch them a better price and revenue, financially makes sense. Typical, right? I mean, the similar way, this is being here, but it has no value. Otherwise, you see everywhere, used because there is no value for this. So idea is that if you can create more value for it, inherently, there is a whole ecosystem will develop in and around it.
We at Rain Matter are learning about how climate change is affecting you and me. And more importantly, what we can do about it. Join us as we speak with the people who are working on solutions for India. Welcome to the Climate Conversations.
That was Jabir from Greenworms, a startup working along India's coast to stop plastic waste from reaching our oceans. While some plastics can be recycled, the process is quite expensive. Before any actual recycling starts, you first have to collect, sort, and wash the waste. That requires a lot of manual labor, transport, and water. Once the plastic is clean, there are 3 ways to recycle it: mechanical, chemical, and enzymatic. Today, 80 to 85% of the world's recycling is mechanical. And this involves shredding and melting the plastic into small pellets. This process uses a lot of energy to break down the material, but also it weakens the plastic. And because of this, plastic can only be mechanically recycled a few times before it becomes useless. Let's hear from Jabir about how they handle the collecting and sorting part first, because that is their USP.
So I realized that this is not a technology issue.
Okay.
It's some of the process issues, and it's also issues with, I would say, people's attitudes and approach towards it. So without any technology, you can actually solve the problem.
Right.
So actually, there is no easy material in plastic to recycle. It's all depends on the geography which you are sitting. In India, PET bottle is being recycled. Maybe people claim that around 90% of PET is being recycled in the country. But if you go to one of maybe African country, if you go to maybe Gulf country, maybe Oman and all, 100% PET is go to landfill. So it's of course there is a concept called recyclability, and whether it's recycling or not. So PET as a bottle, there is a higher recyclability. It can be recycled, but it's getting recycled or not. For example, Andaman Islands. Andaman Islands PET bottle is banned. Anything less than 5 liters of water bottle is completely banned. Because studies are 90% of in mainland PET's bottle is recycled, but Andaman Islands PET is not recycled.
And why is that?
Because there is no collection mechanism. Okay, there is no processing mechanism, because it has to transport to 3,000 kilometers to get a recycler. So the commercial doesn't work in. So I'm saying, so plastic you cannot say that okay, this is a good plastics. Every plastic is bad. Okay. So it's something becomes good or bad, where does it sit in? In Bombay cities, maybe 100% plastic gets recycled. But if you go to Lonavala, in a hill station, remote plastics, maybe 10% gets recycled.
What happens to the other 90%?
It goes to environment, sends up in environments.
But where? I mean, in the water bodies and.
Yeah, it becomes either ends up in landfills or either ends up in water bodies. So I'm trying to say in India. So said all the gains of PETs, HDPs, PPs, all rigid plastic gets recycled. My focus is mostly on flexible films, soft plastics, which is very difficult to recycle. So I am taking milk pouches now. So in Kerala, it's a small state. There is only a single brand which has a market share of 80%. That generates 2,500 metric tons of milk pouches in a year.
Mm-hmm.
So 1 kg of milk pouch is 500 milk pouches are 1 kg. It's a 500 milli. So it's a crores and crores of milk pouches is being thrown away. And so I take these materials and wash these materials. And so this I process grades called LDP and LLDP materials.
Okay.
A lot of places, it has a foul smell. And some places people just keep it clean also. But yeah, milk pouch does have a odor issue. So we have the whole washing line process for that. So technically it's a combination, mechanical recycling specifically. It's a shredding, washing and drying. That's the one part of it. Then it being extruded into a 1 or 2 stage process. It being densified into and make some granules and pellets out of it. So it's some specific temperature. So every plastic there is some specific temperature. So it's being melted. And so there is a lot of screening process it does. And so there are 2 kind of pellets. One is a virgin pellets, one is recycled pellets. So I make recycled pellets out of it.
How much energy do you use to melt the plastic? And what is energy source?
Yeah, as of now 100% of energy I consume from the grid only. So in Kerala, around 20-30% comes from hydroelectricity. The rest come from, we take from other thermal board only. As of now, I consume 100%, from the grids, but we are about to set up, solar panels for that. Because energy is one of the largest. After the largest cost center is energy.
Right.
It's not the human resource. So it's a very highly energy intensive activity.
What about water?
So I do have so as of now, I use 100% recycled water only. I use the same. We have an effluent treatment plant in which we reuse 100% water. So you need.
But where do you get the
also.
original water from?
So it's from the bowel, and we have a rainwater storage also. But as of now, it's also highly water intensive. It's because I'm cleaning and reusing it, then it's become lesser water. But if you say so recycling is not, it's not everybody is promoting a way. It's very really good things. We must promote it. But this is the last resort. It's a very difficult process. It's a very tedious process. It's much more complicated, process. So when I started breaking down each problem, plastic is a predominant issue. Then comes paper. Then comes the textile waste. Around 6 to 7% of my waste. For example, I collected last year 60,000 kgs of waste, like 60,000 tons of waste. And so 6-7% is around 3,000 to 4,000 tons per year. So there's a whole science angle to it, the waste processing. When it comes to recycling specifically, it's much more sophisticated. And there are thousands of grades of plastics, sub-grades of plastics. And you need to know the polymer. So you need to polymer in detail. So there are a lot of polymer scientists. So there are a lot of institutes in the country who teach us. There are, engineers, polymer engineers and all. So I realized that I'm a history postgraduate. I know nothing about the science behind it. So there is a melt flow index. There is a moisture angle. So there is a density angle. There is an ash residues contamination angle. And you need to mix certain ingredients, certain colors, certain additives, certain, so there is a whole petrochemical, angles to it. So I realized that I always think, I always hire people better than me who knows better the subjects. So you can say, yeah. So they do all this, they analyze what is the feedstock I'm getting it. So there is a whole quality check for the feedstocks. What's the process I need to do it? What is the moisture level or what's the temperature level I need to keep it? And what's the finished product's quality? So there is a whole, it's like you can say it's a mini lab and factories, in every stage that you need to ensure certain quality parameters. So that's what these people does. See, in this facility, we cater to around 60, Grama Panchayats and local bodies in this rural area. So a Grama Panchayat size would be around 10,000 households. So actually, there is a set of women who does the door-to-door collection. So once they do the door-to-door collections, we pick up their waste streams. They do the door-to-door collection, we take care of the processing. The first step is we have this kind of vehicles. We have 63 vehicles, which carries around 2,000 kgs in a single truck.
Okay.
So all these kinds of, mixed dry waste. We collect only dry waste and comes here. The first process in this facility, it's the weighing the material. So we get to know that specific village, how much quantity of waste. So there is a, QR code in every facility.
Okay.
Even these three facility has a 3 QR code.
Okay. Okay.
So the truck guy comes, he scans, there is a mobile app we have developed, they scan it. So he knows that, he has reached here before unloading as well as after unloading here.
Okay.
So the truck number, date, plates and everything, it's already captured.
Okay.
So there is a ways of traceability tools from one village to the whole end destinations in a single tracker, we get to know able to trace it.
And what is the time difference between loading and unloading? So that
that can also capture.
Turnaround time is roughly how much?
It's around 20 to 30 minutes.
Okay.
So in a one truck load. After the weighing the material, material gets unloaded here. So this is an excess stock. Ideally, the facility has to be, if you are, in a single line, we do around 5 tons per shift. So this facility can do 30 tons per day.
Okay.
So idea is that 30 tons per day comes here, 30 tons per day has to be processed and 30 per day has to be dispatched.
Right.
So that's the process efficiency.
What all are they sort of picking? Are different women picking different things?
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, for example, you would see what they're picking up. These are some PET bottle is there.
But is that PET is not here?
Very less. I'm saying not here. It's very, very less. Not even 1%. Okay. That's what they choose the bags.
Okay.
So we have two kinds of bin. These are some jutes, which they use for larger fractions of material.
Okay.
40% is recyclable. We know what is.
Right.
So we use these kinds of bins. It's a small fraction. For example, you get some PET bottle, you pick it up.
Right.
All the non-recyclable fractions, which we usually send it to co-processing for alternative fuel, which drops here.
This is gets to alternative fuel.
Alternative fuel to cement factories and all. So it's a drops here specifically.
Right.
And then it goes to, there is a shredder there is a heavy shredder there, automatic baler. It goes to the other facility and we bale it there. We have a weighing scale here also. Every bales Again, there is a, we take the weight of it and we capture, there is a mobile application again, we capture the data of, so what is the weight, what has come here, what is the output here, everything can be captured. Okay, there is a weighing scale which you use here also.
So, for example, in a truck, if 2,000 kilos has come in, has all 2,000 kilos been sorted into something
daily,
or the other?
Yeah, daily you get an hourly data, what is the production, what's the volume is happening.
Okay.
So here this is because there are two fractions comes, non-recyclable, recyclable.
Right.
Recyclers are mostly in small scale people. Right. So we use this vertical balers. These are vertical balers. Okay, so this is a recyclable material, carry bags, low carry bags. It goes to a recycler. So we put into the compaction, the compacting machines are used. This is only a 50 kg maybe.
Okay.
So in five of these bags can be compressed into one bag. So the compaction is done for two purposes. One for storage purpose.
Right.
You can store, large volumes in small place. And this even travels up to Gujarat, many other places and all.
Right. All we're doing is basically just pressing it down, right?
You just hydraulic baling machine.
How many baling machines do you have in a facility?
10 vertical balers, 1 horizontal baler. So
what is the difference? Why do, apart
for
from
example, a horizontal baler per hour efficiencies we can do 7 tons per hour.
Okay.
And vertical baler we can do in a whole day you can do 2 tons. I have around 6 to 7 business verticals now, revenue streams. So one is this door-to-door waste collection with the local bodies, partnerships. Second, I have a direct collection mechanism for bulk waste generators, like big hotel, restaurant, shopping malls, hospitals, general waste hospitals. Like I have own vehicles and run directly because bigger industries and all. So that's the second revenue streams. Third, I run a lot of material recovery facilities now. Most of them are, some of them are semi-mechanized, etc. So I segregate these waste materials and sell this, recyclable fraction to various authorized recyclers. So that's the material recovery facilities are another source of revenue for me. Fourth, I work with a lot of brands to offset their plastic footprints. In India, we call extended producer responsibility. In global market, we call plastic credits. So that's my fourth set of revenue streams. And other fifth set is actually whatever non-recyclable waste, I am converting into some alternative fuels as a replacement to the coal, which is consumed in cement factories and so I sell, you can say, alternative fuels to cement factories for municipal waste. That's another business vertical. The last one we recently started. We started our own recycling facility in which some of these plastics we wash, dry and make some new products out of it, especially some granules and pellets out of it. So we recently started a textile waste recovery facility, and that's also a new waste streams for us. I mean, it's new revenue streams. So you can say we have around 7 revenue streams. One with sources, other with types of waste we manage. So yeah, as of now, I manage around 35% of the state of Kerala now. And in terms of numbers, I have a business. Last year I did a business of around 70 crores. This year I will do a business of around 100 crores. So one, I look at 60,000 metric tons I have. So this year I will be collecting around 85,000 to 90,000 metric tons. So daily I manage around 250 metric tons. So I want to manage, next 3 years I want to manage 1,000 metric tons per day. And I wanted to, I want to scale to other states like Tamil Nadu and Karnataka and all. So I keep a different revenue verticals and what is the volume you manage and it's managed.
What sort of margins? Is the business profitable?
Yeah, business is profitable for the last 4 years. And we have around 10% EBITDA. So we ensure that business is self-sustainable financially. At the same time, it's scalable in nature.
Why did you raise money from Rain Matter?
See, so we always think innovation is needed. You need R&D is needed, and some business model it works today, and it may not works tomorrow. So we have been keep evolving, adding a lot of new business vertical, trying to find how to monetize waste, right? So one is the brands are paying it, households, the users are paying it, the waste material itself has a value, etc. So now I'm more looking at the vertical integrations. So the new fund which I have raised recently, I've used to set up the recycling facility, the whole washing line and pelletizing line and all. More on value additions of the, now I have the feedstock with me. So how can you create more value addition out of it?
As we've seen, recycling plastic is a big task. It needs a lot of work at the MRF, which is Materials Recovery Facility, to collect, sort and pack the waste before it even reaches the recycling factory. And once there, it takes a lot of electricity and special machines to melt the different types of plastic. It is good that the new government rules like Extended Producer Responsibility or EPR are now forcing companies to take part in recycling and making this process much more feasible. However, some things like chip packets, which is multi-layer plastic, and footwear are still very hard to recycle. We should be careful and try to use fewer of these items. Let's keep having the climate conversations about how we can help. I'm Hansi. See you next time.